My name is Gabriella Hoffman. I am a media strategist. I'm also a gun owner, a concealed handgun permit holder in the state of Virginia, and I've also just recently started to go hunting. For me, my support of the Second Amendment, and I believe some people will perceive that view to be absolutist, but it's not. However, I believe that is rooted in the fact that my family came from a place where freedom was not safeguarded, and seeing what happened there historically, where there was a lot of violent crime that was a lot higher than here in the United States, where there is a prevalence of firearms in the hands of law-abiding gun owners. I saw historically that that type of policy does not work, and having lived in California, which is very anti-gun, I saw what happens in states where those restrictions are in place. And moving to Virginia, I saw the opportunity to take it upon myself to learn about firearms laws, to be acquainted with the laws that are associated with, the mechanics, the ballistics associated with it, and figure out why people are interested in it. I've never really been opposed to firearms. I was just kind of ambivalent about it. But having befriended people who've worked in the industry, from firearms to hunting sectors, I learned that there's a lot of mischaracterizations and misinformation about how firearms are used, who uses them, and why law-abiding gun owners shouldn't be equated with criminals. And in my media work, I've tried to do a very thorough job with making the distinction between law-abiding gun owners, which are the majority of gun owners, and the criminals, the very few who perpetrate those ghastly, evil acts. And those of us in the firearms industry, directly or indirectly, make it very well known and very pronounced that those people don't represent us, they don't define us. And I'm also an NRA member, which is not popular these days, but there are a lot of members out there. And I don't believe any NRA member has ill intent. Most of them do not engage in criminal wrongdoing. We're very much against these mass shooters. And that has to be communicated, and I think more NRA members like myself will speak out about this because we don't want to be unfairly typecasted as criminals, because we're not. We dislike it just as much as anyone else who may be for gun control, but we don't believe you should alter gun law, existing gun law, to try to enact change, because any application of further gun control laws, whether it's a restriction on magazine limits, if it's a restriction on a certain make of a firearm, whether it's a semi-automatic hunting rifle, which is what Oregon was deliberating with and Illinois was deliberating with, but both of those measures have since been axed from the picture. But I think people want to impose gun control measures without knowing what exactly that will entail. They don't know the mechanics, they don't know the functions of firearms, and it's incumbent upon us who work in the industry and who also do media to educate others, especially reporters or activists, to learn the mechanics and know what they're talking about, because any malapropism associated with identifying a certain part of a firearm could really be detrimental to the conversation. And I think with whatever involvement I have, I try to make it so that firearms experts or enthusiasts can have a fair say, have a fair shake at the conversation, and I would like others like myself to speak out and to be equipped with the tools to do that.